Oh, Math Gad guys, welcome to today's video. It's me, Sergio, and today's video is about the absolute value. Basic concepts of absolute value, how to recognize an absolute value problem, how to solve it, the definition using the number line. All this will be done today. Before we begin with the video, guys, it will really mean a lot to me if you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. It really helps the community grow. And if you find this video useful, don't forget to leave a like. Okay guys, let's begin.
Oh Math Gad.
Hello guys, welcome to today's video in which we're going to be learning the basics of the absolute value. How you can recognize it, why is it useful, how it works. All those questions are going to be asked today. So let's get started. Maybe you're wondering, what are these signs next to this plus 5? What does this even mean in math? All these questions will be answered today. But first, let's begin talking about recognizing the absolute value. You may be asking yourself that question, how can I recognize it? So the absolute value is usually referred to as the module of a number. And that module is basically that same number disregarding its sign. So if it's positive, you don't pay attention to it. If it's negative, you don't pay attention to that negative. So that means that the absolute value of plus 6 is 6, meaning it's positive. And the absolute value of negative 6, it's also 6, because you don't care about the sign it has, right? So the absolute value or module of a number is pretty useful when you want to find, for example, distances in the number line. Feel free to check out the video of the number line in order to understand the concept of the absolute value with the number line. The absolute value of a number is usually written down between bars. So the absolute value of minus 5 is expressed like this, or sometimes in programming, it's actually expressed as ABS or absolute of minus 5 in parentheses. So both notations are actually pretty common. This is the best way to recognize the absolute value and the most common one too. What does it actually mean? So the absolute value actually means that you're not going to pay attention to the sign a number has. It's always going to be positive. So for example, the absolute value of minus 5 is 5. The absolute value of minus 10 is going to be 10. What about positive numbers? The absolute value of 100 is going to be 100. And the absolute value of 19.5 is going to be 19.5. So you don't pay attention to whatever sign it has. The answer of an absolute value is always going to be positive, and you have to keep that in mind. So as I was telling you guys, the absolute value means no negatives, and is usually expressed in the number line, as you can see in the video I did on it, as the distance between 0 and that number. So for example, if we have 7 and minus 7, the distance between 0 and 7 and the distance between 0 and minus 7 is going to be the same, 7 in both cases. So you can think of the absolute value of a number as the distance between 0 and that number. It doesn't matter if the number is positive or negative, that distance is always going to be positive. So keep that in mind, guys. Taking that into account, now you know that the absolute value of a negative number like minus 99 is going to be positive 99. The absolute value of a number like 77 is going to be 77. The absolute value of a decimal number, let's say it's negative, like minus 8.7, is going to be positive 8.7. The absolute value of a fraction or a mixed number like 3, 5 divided by 8 is going to be the same thing, positive 3, 5 divided by 8. So maybe we can do a small practice. Let's try doing these problems. Feel free to pause the video and check the answers. So the first problem, the absolute value of minus 700, the absolute value of minus 1/2, and the absolute value of minus 0.035, we see that they are all negative numbers. And again, the absolute value disregards that sign. So that means that the absolute value, or ABS, of minus 700 is going to be 700 positive. The absolute value of minus 1 divided by 2 is 1 divided by 2. And the absolute value of minus 0.035 is 0.035. Did you do it well? Remember that you can redo these practices. So what about these three? So in this case, we have three positive numbers, a fraction, an integer, and a decimal. So in the first one, again, we don't care about the sign. We just need to solve it. The absolute value of 6 divided by 7 is 6 divided by 7. And the absolute value of 9.54 is 9.54. Sometimes you also find problems where you have operations inside the absolute value. So for example, minus 5 plus 4. You just have to solve whatever is inside the absolute value and then give the answer of the absolute value. So minus 5 plus 4 is minus 1. And then the absolute value of minus 1 is positive 1. The absolute value of 9 minus 5 is the same as 9 minus 5 is 4. And the absolute value of 4 is plus 4. Again, the absolute value means no negatives. Now, guys, you can try redoing the practice we just did here. Remember, feel free to pause the video, replay it, because practicing is key. I'll see you guys on the next one. Remember to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe if you found this video useful. It really means the world to me if you guys subscribe as well. So see you on the next one. Bye, guys.
Check out these other videos to improve your math skills, and make sure you click that subscribe button to make the community grow. Follow ohmathgad in its social media accounts, drop a like, a comment below, and see you on the next one. Bye!